this little thing around. What's up?
What's up, guys?
Thing around and hit the AF button.
AF, baby. Autofocus AF. How's everyone doing today? Thank you, Reaper Miniatures, for the raid right before we go live. As usual, I stick out of the camera frame because I'm so used to framing Scott. I'm a big boy. How's everyone doing? Thanks again to Lord Arakan1234 Breaking Prime and RG Hanamic for the subs. Before we got started here, let me get this out of frame. Yeah. All right. So, hopefully the music's working right. I obviously can't hear it. Let us look at the painting camera. Okay, good. Stream Deck's working. Where's my... Right in here, sure. So let's get that focused. Good. All right. So we got options today. People are going to have to sound off on chat which they want me to paint. Because I have Blood Bowl Dwarves and I have Necromunda Dwarves. And they aren't really Necromunda Dwarves, but they're my Necromunda Dwarves. So on that front, I'll grab a couple. And then Blood Bowl, I'll show you guys the scheme I've got going. I haven't painted any of my Necromunda guys yet, so that would be establishing the paint scheme and so on. For my Blood Bowl team, we've already got one vote for Necromunda Dwarves. Blood Bowl team, this is my scheme. Sadly, it's kind of actually close to the official one, since they are also sort of a teal color. So that's the Blood Bowl Dwarves. I've done half of them, Dan. I've still got about, I think I have 5 more to paint. So, and then I also have the Death Roller. And then here are the dwarves I'm using for Necromunda. These are the most badass dwarves in the galaxy. I can't remember the name of the creator for these off the top of my head, but they are on my mini factory. And I just don't really like the aesthetic of the standard squat prospectors that much. They're okay. It's not gamic. This is literally the only thing on their store is a bunch of these cool dwarves. They're modular and excellent. Dan getting roasted in the chat. So yeah, I've got a bunch of those guys. I haven't actually put together my list for Necromunda yet. So all I did was just put together the various special weapons last night. He doesn't have a head yet, because I haven't decided what head to give him. If you go on My Mini Factory and look up Badass Dwarves, badass one word, you will find it. Apologies for not being able to remember the name. They did a Kickstarter like a year or two ago, and you can basically do a late pledge on it and get like all of the minis for I think like $60. They have a whole ton of these modular dwarves, and then they also have bikes. They have dwarves riding hogs. They have like a tank with a crusher thing on the front of it, which is pretty good for Necromunda. There's a bunch of heroes as well. These are mostly special weapon guys is what I printed here. This one, the guy that's on the rock that I just showed, he's on their website for free. So you can try that out. And then they have like a pinup and a mascot guy that are also free. So, no, that dwarf has not gotten head yet. Yeah, I was putting them together last night, and I did put heads on a few of them where I was confident which head to put on. Like this guy with the missile launcher. He's wearing his welder's mask to keep his face clear of the blast. The backpacks are modular too, which I love. So you can really customize these guys. The arms, heads, and backpacks are modular on the bodies. And pretty much all of the two-handed weapons fit on the various bodies, including the different poses. Like I could have given this guy a two-handed weapon if I wanted, but I wanted him to be doing the rock and stone. So yeah. Drop minis sounds right. Yes. Yeah, they're on My Mini Factory. I think you can also get them direct from their website, but I could be wrong. And they're awesome. I like these way more because they have more of a traditional roughneck, do more with less kind of vibe. I want my industrial dwarves to look like they work on an oil rig, or like a traditional coal mine. Lots of pouches, self-sufficiency, all that stuff. The official Necromunda dwarves look a little bit too much like they're in space rigs, right? Honestly, I think my biggest problem with them is not their suits, but the heads. They have like those weird like helmets that go out to like where their collar line is, and I hate that. All right, so I see a lot of... I am doing prospectors, by the way, Amos. Seems like the consensus is clear that I should be painting this guy. Since he's primed, I'll just stick him on a base, which I'll remove him from later. I wonder if there's like blue tack sitting right in front of me. That would be very, very helpful. Signs point to no. Scott's Condor Gangers in a paint cup. I don't know if you guys have seen this. This is Scott's scheme. We did one of these on stream last week. I'm the real Miniac guy. It is a white zenithal highlight. And I actually don't love doing white zenithal normally, but this was my test print. So I did that just because I'm blind and I want to see exactly how much detail I was getting out of this size and so on. Looks pretty good. You can see I didn't really clean it up. I just pulled him off of the sprue? No, the supports. But honestly, these things are pre-supported so well that like, it's almost all hidden. These guys their heads are held up on the bottom side of their beard, and then the backside's generally covered by the collar. They're pretty sweet. Like Genie, it's not about playing games, it's about fantasizing about playing games. All right, let's see here. Because I don't want to permanently attach them. I could super glue them on, but then I risk breaking them when I take them off. I feel like it's in this drawer, but it's not. It's not. That's all paint. Let's find some broken airbrushes, right, guys? There's green stuff. It's almost blue tack. Funny thing is, I'm pretty sure I have some in my bag, but digging through it to find them is a pain. You know what? I will just super glue them on. I don't care. That's fine. You probably won't break. How many airbrushes will I touch before we're done here? I don't intend to airbrush anything. I think we're just going to paint this guy today. Tiny, teeny bit. His other foot. And I'll just use the super glue trick to base him later, because I'm probably going to 3D print bases that have a theme. All the Necromunda gangs, and vehicles, and book, and card, most on their boxes. It's a lot of stuff. Oh yeah. Space is too big. You know, something that's very annoying about these guys is they're on a 28.5 millimeter base, officially. Not 25s, not 30s, not 31.5 or 32 or whatever the standard one is for GW. They're on a new base size. Or it was new at the time when they came out like a year ago or whatever. So that's cool. Ah, boy. What are we thinking for a color scheme here? Obviously, we've got a big gun. We've got gear with pouches. We've got some metal. Wearing pants. Something industrial, something high-vis. I was originally thinking high-vis orange, but I think they'll look too much like prisoners. or escaped convicts. Yeah, they've been using it on more and more things, but it's 28 and a half, and it's annoying because like I want to 3D print bases, and most of them are. People are saying dingy orange. I could do that. Teal shows up on like all my guys. It'll be on here somewhere. It might be like their glowing eye color or something. Something minor. Termagants, novitiates. Yeah, Votan has a lot of 28s in it. But I don't know. See, the temptation is to do Deep Rock Galactic color sets, right? So this guy's a gunner, obviously, so he should have a green and yellow theme. And this guy's probably like a scout, so he should have a blue theme. Yeah, it makes my gang really like colorful though. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to end up doing as Azathoth, is just scaling up 25s or scaling down 30s. Liquid flag operators. Necromorca and Necromunda. Yeah, we played our first game. We played like an intro game on Sunday. Dan started a war between all the players, which was pretty funny. And now, the way that Dan started that war was by existing, and then I shot him, but it was his fault. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. We did a big 4-way battle, vying for supremacy. Let's see, what paints have I got out on the desk here? Obviously, it's Prochrome. These are my Blood Bowl colors. I've been using a lot of Jade. I want to use a more military green on this guy, I think, not teal. So let's see here. Green oxide, that's not great. It's the part of every stream that I host. The part where Evan digs through his bucket of paints. Oh yeah, I mean, like, the original squats are super cool. I like how kind of sassy they are. Yellow, green, green. I think yellow, green, and green are going to get used for sure. Bright yellow, green. Faded green is going to be super useful. Where is, I like camo green. Black green? Now I've grabbed like every green except that one. Come on. Dark yellow green. How is this possible? Truly. I mean, the answer is because I'm a disorganized, chaotic mess, but Alex is lurking. We'll just make do. I'm not going to dig through this all stream for greens. All right. Something in greens and yellows. Super Gamer Boys, I'm not running the giveaway today because it's just me, and managing the giveaway when it's just me is a pain. Next stream with Scott, next painting stream with Scott, we'll pick up that Chimera bust giveaway. It's still sitting here on the desk, but I'm not gonna work super hard to make that happen today. Sorry. You need to see if your camera green and mine separate the same way. All right, fine. Give me 1 second. I should get out my brushes too. I'll give it one more pass. Is that it? Dark camo green. Now I literally have grabbed every green except for regular camo green, which I think I just got. Yep, there we go. Camo green. And yeah, I can actually see it's blue. See those blue specks at the bottom? I won't shake it. Just gonna put a little on the palette. Well, it came out green, but we'll see if it separates over time. But I definitely can see that blue pigment on the bottom. Yeah, these are the most badass dwarves in the galaxy by Drop Minis. My Mini Factory. So what are we thinking? I'm thinking that might be it. Sometimes it pays to be disorganized. Are we gonna paint with a size 3 or 4 today? Size 3, I think that's in here. What's up? Just lurking? Scott is here. He's just also lurking and working. Use my hat so I don't bang into the camera quite so much. I'm painting up here. We're gonna fix this. Sorry, Chad, the camera's gonna move. I need to leave it on screen so I can do this. I can paint it there. Yeah, that's good. Let's focus again, make sure it's good. Yeah. Lurking or creeping. It can be both. It can definitely be both. So let's see. We've got pants. We've got separate knee pads. We've got 2 belts. What's the second belt for? No idea. Got these pouches, got grenades in a weird spot. He's got metal armor. He's got the bag. I'm thinking camo green on the pouches and maybe the pants. And then sort of a yellow brown. I don't know, do I want to do true metallics or non-metallics on this guy? I'm not sure yet. I've been giving it a lot of thought. Lurking and smirking. Maybe, let me see that. Use that dark camo green. Probably want some black green on here too. For mixing purposes. So everyone ready for Christmas? It's 6 days away. I still have a couple of gifts to buy. I don't think I'm gonna do the bright yellow green. That's like more of a Mountain Dew color. Okay. Maybe it's just green and brown. Give them the just traditional military vibes. Is he wearing anything on his legs that I need to be aware of? His pants kind of gaiter over his boots. They have kind of a cuff to him. I'm not sure. It's all right. We'll start here. That is the dark camo green that I'm putting on right now. Putting it on pretty thin. It's a nice color. Just step right up to the camo green and see what it looks like. We're learning. I don't think I've ever really used either of these colors on my guys, because I normally prefer bluer greens. Oh, sorry about that. One nice thing about dwarves is they're smaller, so it's easier to get in frame. But one thing that sucks about dwarves is they're smaller, so they're a bigger pain in the ass to paint. I am working really thin right now, trying to take advantage of the zenithal to begin with. I'll end up putting enough paint on these guys that I cover all of it, but I will say that these guys might benefit from, might be teaching in the hobby seminars. I'm not planning on it. I have not been asked to. I don't feel like I'm the guy to do it. I'm a thoroughly pretty good painter. I'm not super great. But like, here's my piece of advice. I'm getting paint on his knee pad and I don't want it there, but I also don't care, because that's going to get painted a completely different color later. And for all of the armor stuff, I'm definitely planning on doing something pretty different. So I'm just not going to worry about it. There's like no way to do this without getting paint you don't want it in places. That's okay. That's why I'm working on a bigger area first, low to high. Then like further in to further out is generally how I work. I'll end up getting a bunch of paint on his minigun and stuff as I do his chest. Then I'll be like, that's fine, because I'm going to paint the minigun again later. Plan for the base. I'm actually hoping that I can get further information about like our campaign's story. Because if we're going to be fighting in the Underhive primarily, I'll put him on an Underhive themed base. You know, like either like ruined Gothic temple or something like that, ruined factory. But if we're primarily playing out in the Ash Wastes or something like that, I'll put him on a desert base. I haven't decided. I just know I'll print bases because it's such a time-saving hack. I have a whole bunch of bases from different makers, and it makes such a huge difference to just be able to print a base, give it a really quick paint job like dry brushing and all that, and then be done, as opposed to building things up. Oh yeah, imposter Vince Venturelli. You're right. I mean, like, there is always the possibility that Vince will say, imposter Vince. I'm just not feeling up to doing this event. Can you go do it? I don't think it'll be any of his classes because he enjoys that and gets paid to do it. You never know. I might ask him to like, come and say hi. Definitely planning on being imposter Vince for one day again this year. Because it was so much fun. And I encourage everyone else to do so. Vince enjoys it. All right, so we've got the basis for green pants here. Might even be a little too bright, but I can always tone it down a little bit. Kidnap Vince and replace him against his will. You never know. Like, Jeannie, right after you left, I beat that Valkyrie on God of War 2018. You were cursing me, clearly. Just layering on a little bit of light green. Well, there you go. Feel free to come and say hi to Imposter Vince. I had quite a few people take pictures with me. I had a couple people think I actually was Vince. That was the highlight for me. Or, you know, it's possible they didn't, but they played it so straight that I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah, it's a nice military green, gunner vibes. I feel like I might need to push it a little bit more yellow as I go, but that's okay. Nice and thin, which is what I want right now. Just right. Just gonna focus all over that pouch. So right now I'm working with like half opacity. Taking advantage of the zenithal.
Rock and stone, yeah!
Rock and stone! Yeah, baby. Definitely gonna get some green on his arms and on his gun. Not going to care. I even just put some there intentionally to remind myself that I don't care. This guy would be way easier to paint if I didn't have his arms on him. Or had them magnetized. All the two-handed weapon guys are probably a little too closed to get in there, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Black green down there. Also, I apologize, I didn't have time to switch the camera side, so my hand will block what I'm doing a lot of the time here. I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible, but there's only so much I can do. As a left-hander on a right-handed set. Mike Genie, that's a great idea. I mean, Vince realistically should have some sort of official sculpt at this point. So there's a little bit of faded, a little bit of yellow, a little bit of camo. Just want to see what this looks like on an upper edge. Go hard. I could go harder than that. For sure. Okay. Good to know, good to know. Flesh will be flesh tones. He's got a robot arm. There's a lot of cybernetic parts on these guys. You know, like he's got the robot eye and metal plate. Got a robot arm. Some of these guys have like robot legs. I gotta figure out what I want to do for them. The shortcuttist in me thinks I should just do true metallic metals on these guys. Because doing NMM is a chore. But at the same time, this is a gang, so I don't have to paint a whole army, so we'll see. I don't know. They don't all have to match. A little bit more faded green. Just a Sure, I like it. Faded green is a nice Faded green color. What a shocker. Monument Hobbies delivers. All right. There's my focal point. Right there. Okay. Yeah, I'm really not sure what I want to do for the metal of his collar. I feel like the head plate, it's funny to do chrome because then he's a chrome dome. This arm, I could do like a, any number of ways. But the collar, he's got like this big metal neck guard thing, and I don't know what I want to do for that. Just trying to hit all of the pouches before I move on from them, because otherwise inevitably I'll forget one of the hard to reach edges. Just using a mixture of dark camo green and black green to get in there in those spaces, because we're just trying to eliminate any sort of white in the dark recesses. See, I can even see a little bit on the bottom of that. Which I could hit a little bit more. Now, over the course of painting this guy, I'm sure I'm going to pump up the contrast more on these pouches. But right now, I want to just establish the scheme. All right. What do we think? Is the neck guard like a painted chipped steel? Yeah, I don't know. The arm is like part of him. I just don't know if I want to do an MM on these guys. I think I'll probably regret it if I don't, but I think I'll probably regret it if I do in a different way. Dan, I didn't shoot first. That's an urban legend. Or rather, I did shoot first because you taunted me. Red collar, green patch. Isn't that good? Pretty tempted to like pull up. You know what? One sec. Deep Rock Galactic. You can see how I found these guys. Deep Rock Galactic inspired STL. Gunner. I want to see his traditional colors. He has like tiger stripe armor normally, brown, greens. This is the standard Gunner. My main regret with this guy, this is the head he's like this mini comes with, but they do have a cigar smoking head. And I could have tweaked this and put the cigar in his mouth. In the game, he doesn't smoke a cigar because of China. Oh, don't him. So his armor is like a light brown with dark brown tiger stripes. Yeah, I may do that, Mike Genie. We'll see. All right, he's green's an accent color. You can see his pants are green. Depending on your armor set, this changes, but this is the default color. So why don't we emulate this? It's almost like a khaki color, and that's probably where I'll start. Yeah, let's do that. So, I have bright warm gray. That's pretty close. don't think I have khaki yet, but let me double check. Got light umber, red gray. Those will probably come in handy. Khaki, is that khaki right there? That's pale yellow. That's almost khaki. That's ivory. That's also almost khaki. Carrick stone layer. That's almost khaki. Khaki. That's a khaki color. Might be a little too saturated. We can step it down with like pale yellow or ivory. Haha. See, the key with this organization system is the more paints you take out, the easier it is to find other colors. How's that for a big brain move? So, khaki. Yeah, khaki is a khaki color. That's the actual color. I think that's pretty close. And then we'd probably do light umber for the stripes if I was going to put stripes on here, which I don't think I am, but mostly because of space constraints, right? That neck guard is not a lot. I could give, oh boy, I could give him tiger stripes on his pants too, though. Embrace the camo, since he's a gunner. We'll see. Let's start by khaki-ifying this color. Khaki, like a lot of the brighter colors in Pro Acryl, is just a tiny bit thicker. Excuse me. Alex, you are lurking way more than usual today. I see. I've stolen your camera that you like. Yeah, that's a pretty nice bright color. Watch, I'm gonna get khaki on the top of these pouches. Luckily, khaki is actually probably a pretty good faded highlight color. Easy to work back towards the greens I'm working with. I'm also thinking that I might do some chipping and stuff here, with this khaki color being the paint on his metal color. So not leave like a shadow unpainted area behind these rivets. So all these guys were printed.
You're not giving Big Daddy GW your money?
No. I did buy the rule book though.
You did. You fucking chump.
Yeah.
I ain't buying no books.
You know why I did it?
Why?
Support the store. It's not about GW, it's about the fact that I didn't buy any minis and we're playing a game and I'm like, I should do something.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I would have bought dice too, but they didn't have them.
Chat. Got my TI shirt. I came in to show it off yesterday. Marana. Bought it like 3 months ago. Look at this. Look at this beauty.
Get in here.
Beautiful back design as well.
Woo! No, it's cut off. You can't see the wolf. That's pretty sick.
Did you put my fucking nice painted model inside a cup?
No, it was in there. I didn't touch anything. Or rather, I picked it up and put it back where it was. It was in the cup when I picked it up. I said, check out Scott's Codor. It's in a cup.
Okay. Buying shirts for bad games. Shake my damn head.
Yeah.
Savage.
Unfortunately, probably not until after Christmas, sadly. But we'll see. I have to pester Mike about that again. Cookie party seemed like a huge success.
Yeah, did you have fun?
I did.
Oh, good. That's usually about that size, so a lot of people.
It is. Not painting right. You can't see the side of his head. Here, hang on. Like this. Yeah, there we go. Now I'm doing it right. I will say something that's annoying about khaki and a couple of the other brighter paints, and this is not a krill problem, it's just a paint problem. It goes on way brighter than it dries. Whatever it is about the pigments to get there, it starts off that color, and then see it? Oh, it's happening right in front of our eyes. As it dries, way down. That's okay. You can see that there's a spot by this rivet here that I'm struggling to get into. So I'm just gonna hit it with the thick stuff. That's the light. There's a spot here that I missed, so we'll just hit that real quick. All right. I'm liking that color. Mike Genie, if you lived here, that could happen over time. I only had to know Scott for like 2.5 years for it to happen to me. Pretty tempted to put some stripes on this guy. I really hate my life if I have to stick to that forever, though. Yeah, there's a spot in here I missed with the khaki, too. The disadvantages of being the big paintbrush guy is sometimes it can be hard to get into tight spaces. Admittedly, the cookies weren't the highlight. The games were. Amos Dean, willing to move to another state just to get a cookie. All right. I'm liking that khaki. I'm not liking the fact that I keep hitting this, it's too thin. Come on. Come on. All right. I like that. So I was thinking originally to make his bag leather, but then he's got straps on it, which I think I want leather, and I could do 2 different leather colors, but maybe his bag should stick with the green theme. On the other hand, maybe the way I tie the whole gang together is by giving them all backpacks that are the same color. And it's the like pants and armor that give them their designation as DRG guys. Like this guy. I don't know, see his backpack. No, I don't think that's gonna work because his backpack is just like metal. Because it's a ammo rack for the rocket launcher. I really love his pose where he's just toting around ammo under his arm. This guy would make a great ammo jack for Necromunda. It's like, yeah, I got rockets. Let's see some other ones. I don't think that idea is gonna work. Yeah, because then we've got like other special weapons, like this guy's got a goo gun or something. I mean, obviously he's a driller because of that. Some of them have backpacks. I like his. His is open sideways. Yeah. But he's a scout. He'll have blue pants. He's wearing a wife beater too. A lot of the guys are wearing wife beaters, which I love. They're rolling around yelling, "Where's my bourbon?" I thought I told you that I was gonna get some racks. See it. I think it's okay for them not to match. After all, these guys are self-sufficient industrialists. But I may change my mind later. I might paint this whole guy and then be like, I can't do this as a scheme for my Necromunda. I have to do something else. Black green on the bottom. It's very saturated, honestly. So Scott doing the behind the scenes stuff. This is a one-man show today. Scott's working on the editing for the next video to come out. He just felt like because we have so much footage, is the Kill Your Friends video, spoilers, just has a lot of editing to do. And so he wanted to work on that instead of spending time painting. Hey, guess what's happening to my camo green? See on the, let me bring it into focus. See on the edge there, how that blue is peeking out? It is separating on my palette. Camo green. Dark camo green not doing it, but camo green is. Jetsam J, this is a badass dwarf. The most badass dwarves in the galaxy. It's made by a creator on my mini factory called Drop Minis. Thanks again to the people in the chat who went and checked because I couldn't remember off the top of my head. Specifically, this guy is the heavy gunner who is sold either individually or as part of the Heroes pack. They also have a pack of Commandos, which is sort of their generic modular guys. Or you can, if you think the whole range is cool, they have like a Kickstarter type pledge thing where you can just buy the whole range, including the guys on bikes and all that stuff. And that's like, it's not that much money. I think it was like $60 for a huge range of very modular dwarves. All of them are socketed arms, including the special weapons guys. This guy I could give the normal arms if I wanted. He's just posed a little differently to work with this gun perfectly. For my Necromunda gang, I wanted something that felt more like Deep Rock Galactic, felt a little bit more grounded industrial miners than guys in spacesuits. Thank you, Mike Genie, posting the link. I will say that these are some of the best miniatures I've bought on my mini factory. The pre-supports are excellent. They're just the right amount of support. Like, they're not over-supported, but they print. Everything I've printed so far has worked perfectly. And I do have my printer pretty dialed in, so your mileage may vary based on that, but I have had zero issues with their pre-supports. Additionally, I really like these sculpts. I think they look great, but also they're not super overly busy. Like, you know, like there are big flat sections on the backpack and stuff. Gaunt's Ghost. Don't know what Gaunt's Ghost is, so tell me about it. Yeah, he does look very rock and stone. Yeah, like in particular, my favorite skins in Deep Rock Galactic are the Roughneck series, where they're wearing, you know, like cut off sleeves and stuff. I absolutely want to give my leader like a tattoo. I think that's the area I'm going to push myself the most with these guys. But that's down the road. I don't know who my leader is. It's not this guy, I think. No, I know it's not this guy. My leader has a power fist. It's the only thing that's fixed in my list. So I printed out power fist, and it goes on his right hand, and it says red right hand. Because, you know, Nick Cave in the Bad Seeds is pretty cool. Yeah, and that's just it too. Is it doesn't feel like completely out of place. I'm not like playing Blood Bowl minis on Necromunda or something. In fact, the squat ammo jack that I can't remember the name of absolutely looks like this set. I could absolutely just buy him, and he would fit with these guys perfectly. You know, you can find him on the GW web store. Dark. There. I'm gonna get paint all over the inside of this belt that I don't really want there, but that's okay because it's gonna end up in shadow. Hey there, Nina-chan. Yeah, the Pig Riders are pretty sweet. I think I'm gonna stick with the bikers just because rules-wise, I don't actually get to ride pigs, but they're pretty cool. I don't know if those are meant to be like Fire Slayer proxies or what, or just, they're cool. They're cool. They are cool. They're like really cool. I'm pretty tempted to give this bag stripes as an homage to the DRG gunner, and then his legs stripes too. I think I'm gonna do it. We'll see. It's going pretty well in the chat. So far, anyway. It's always subject to change. UV coconut crab nudes. Yeah, something that's been really nice, I will say, recently. I've been painting my Blood Bowl team a lot. Now I'm working on these guys too. Man, it feels really nice to be painting minis and be like, I only have to paint like 10 of these guys. So I can do really whatever I want. Because if I really hate my scheme, it's not a big deal to repaint or pivot. And if I want to put in extra time, which I really have on the Blood Bowl team, it's not a big deal. Because, you know, there's few enough minis that you can really just pour extra time into it. Yeah, so what I'm noticing is the dark camo green, regular camo green have kind of a different feel. You know what? Let's see this. All right. Dark camo green. It's almost more of a yellow green. It's a dark yellow green. And then regular camo green. And I'm mixing this Just taking some of the separated stuff. I put that next to it. I'll let it dry. Yeah, this is less desaturated. This is like more green than this. It's not just brighter, which is sort of what I would expect from dark camel green to camel green. It's also, it has less yellow in it. If I just take a tiny bit of my yellow green, it's gonna brighten it up. Oh, look at that, it wasn't fully dried and bonded to my hand. Am I crazy, or is that color not like with that there? No. That's all right. That's why I have 5, 6 paints on my palette, so I can mix colors. But right now, I'm not worried about that. I'm just trying to establish the scheme, and then we'll start going over it, and revising, and figuring out if I'm gonna hate myself, paint stripes everywhere. I think we're gonna do it. I've also been skipping washes and stuff like that recently, but these guys are definitely gonna get some sort of griming step. Probably gonna get like one of those like AK dusts. A lot of places. Yeah, 20 gaunts in one go. That's a lot of work. I guess his knee pads are gonna be khaki as well. Thins that way too much. Probably end up darkening these down a bit, but it's okay. In fact, actually. Not too saturated, brilliant. Ivory is brighter. Yeah, we'll do light umber. Light umber's fine. I could do red gray. We'll do light umber. I think that's a good fit. It's a pretty big step, so we'll definitely do some mixing here, but. There's more than that one. That's all right. It's the Pro Krill way. That's a good mix. All right. Actually, go even darker than that. Sneaking it in. It's a tiny bit more brown than I was really hoping to go, but that's okay. I think it will look fine after I do some highlights. Or Combat Patrol 2 years. Well, I mean, like, the question is, what are those 2 years? I paint like 1 day a week. Sometimes more, but pretty rarely. So I don't make that much progress. Last year I did paint like a whole Song of Ice and Fire Army, but this year, not that much. Painted my police officers for Cyberpunk Combat Zone. Painting these guys, painted Blood Bowl dudes. Also I painted this. Not that much. Feels like not that much. If I did TMM, what would I do? I don't think I should do TMM. It's a lot. Like here in particular, I could do some fun stuff. Banging boxes around. 4 to 5 hours a week? Yeah, I paint about 3 hours a week. On the weeks that I paint one day, I paint 3 hours. Which is admittedly not enough. That's okay. I rant about it all the time. I don't really paint for pleasure. I paint to use minis in games. I want to paint well because I have a relentless need to be the best at everything that I do. And be like striving to incredibly improve. I don't do anything casually, I feel like. Which is a character flaw, but whatever. Where is... Thought I had that out. No, I do it that and that. Good. Dark purple, that's not what I'm looking for. There's an old Penny Arcade comic about that. Where like they're being interviewed and they're asked like what their greatest weakness is. And one of them is like that I spend too much time dwelling on things I can't change or something like that. You know, like dives deep into this psychological malaise. And then the other one goes, my problem is that I'm just too good at everything. I'm just too great. No, I strive for greatness. That's the problem. Doesn't mean I am great. There we go. That's the one I want. I want white blue. Let me see that art of this guy again. Let me look at his gun. His gun is also brown. With a little bit of like lighter metal. We're going to ignore the hot barrels. I'm definitely not going to do that. I have done that before, but I really don't like it that much. A little bit of green, but it's like, it's the same sort of armor color. So if I did something like that on here, what would that look like? Same as the armor colors on like the housing back here. And then like a lighter color here. So maybe the blues aren't what I actually want. All that stuff I just got out goes away. Get out of here. All right. Yeah, let's just mess with that. Let's mess with that. Khaki. We'll mix in a bit of green too. I think this is the answer. Is we are doing TMMs, but we're gonna do it as like, you know, we're gonna dry brush them on for worn edges and stuff. Nice thinned down transparent layer of khaki on this whole thing to start. There are some metal plates here. And then there's like, it's what it's on. So, Sounds good, Millimeter Matt. See you around. was thinking. It's always a bad sign. I'm just going to stick with khaki for now on most of it. These raised metal plates might get... I'll paint them khaki to start, and then I may just change those to being metallic plates or something. Also, Mike, it's like going back to the my stream of God of War that I was doing and you were watching. I just refused to turn down the difficulty. I can't do it. I literally can't do it. After that fight, I was tempted to. I didn't. I did beat the game on stream the other night, on Sunday. And that game was phenomenal, and I cannot wait for Ragnarok to come out for PC in another year or whatever. I did just learn that there's only 2 games though. They're not going to do a third one, which is kind of disappointing. But I mean, this reboot was so good, I'm sure that they'll be able to do another reboot sometime in the future. I love my 3D printed things. See if I can get that. The little notches in this are so tiny. Yeah, reboot. I guess my favorite thing about that game is it's not actually a reboot. It is a actual direct sequel. It's just like way later, which is really cool. It kind of has a similar vibe to the NetherRealm's Mortal Kombat games, but they didn't really reboot it. They just started making sequels that took all of the nonsense seriously in like 9, 10, and 11. And those games are awesome. I bought a fighting game for the campaign. First time I've ever said that in my life. Like, I'm terrible at those games. I'm never going to play them online. But campaigns? Hell yeah. Might buy Mortal Kombat 1 here this holiday season because it's on sale soon, I'm sure. If it's not, I'll wait. Because I am just getting it for the campaign. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's fun. I enjoy fighting games, but I'm not good at them, and I'm not able to put in the time to be good at them. There's only one fighting game I've ever been good at, and that was For Honor. And I did put in the time to be good at that. I played only one character for like ever. I like ran into one of the players that I played against a lot in another game, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you were that Lawbringer only guy." Yep. Some of this is, oops, I just bumped the camera. I did a Scott. Some of this is in shadow enough that I probably don't need to worry about it. Is there a dark khaki? I think there is, right? Nice in the bottle intermediate scale step would be salt. That's bright gold. That's not dark khaki. Here's another. Interesting. Reboot. Hey, look, guys. Dwarf skin. Oh, wait, no. Dwarf skin. I love dwarfs. Tinting the bottom of this thing. It's premature, but I know it's going to happen, so. Make sure this thing looks greased up. Greased. Twitch moments. That's what we call that. Oh, I got excited. My cup overfloweth. I guess I didn't do my trick last time I closed this. I know I've talked about this on stream before, last time I painted with Pro Curl paints, but I keep pressing on them as I close them, which means that the inside stays under a little bit of... negative pressure isn't the scientifically accurate term, but that's what I'm using. A little bit of negative pressure. Because one of the problems with these pots is if you're using them on a high pressure day, barometric pressure, and then you close them, and then it goes to a low pressure day, and you open them, they'll have a little bit of positive relative pressure. All right, then fine, I am being scientifically accurate. I'll accept this. But the point is, by keeping the bottle under tension and then releasing it after you've closed it, you can make it so it doesn't ooge-booge on you next time you open it. I'm doing it, I'm putting stripes on the gun. Just since it's easy to see if I like the effect. And I'll start with this before I do any shading. Only the most scientifically accurate dwarf painting here. Lots of boxes to break down today. I think I like this. I think that shows a pretty good color. It might be a little too red, but I think that actually probably works. Scott is not hiding in a cabin. He's just in the back doing editing. He might wander out here again at some point. Make fun of dwarves. Make me and my kin angry. Dwarves are the best. That's true. That is canonically accurate. That's the term I'm going to use. Just like smooth the hell out of the bottom of that. That's all right. I can't really hear the music, but I hear like saxophone, I think. Tell me if I'm crazy, chat. I hear the headphones on the desk over there. And I heard like my first D&D character back in '83. Long time D&D player. What's a dwarf? Well, you chose wisely. Because they are the coolest. No, it's very jazzy. All right. Well, I'm glad I'm not crazy then. I'm listening to Epic Sax Guy. This is supposed to be their Stream Beats like Christmas playlist. Christmassy. Okay. I kind of like the tiger stripes. I think I'll like it more once I do tiger stripes on the green too, which I'm gonna do. For that, I have this light umber. Let's just see that. I think that's gonna be a little bit too bright, but might not be. Oh, there's like a cat hair. It's actually, well, that might just be a transparency issue. Let's go over it again. Yeah, that's actually too dark over the green. Transparency or otherwise. Red gray is a little too desaturated. What is a step up from there? I don't want to go too warm. I don't want to add too much red. Do I just add some yellow to it? Add a bit of khaki. Stouts. Meet Ketchichan? I don't know what Ketchichan is. Or it doesn't ring a bell. Oh, that might be a little bit too flesh colored. Yeah, that feels too bright now. Didn't really go up that much, but that was a dark golden brown. Maybe I'll like that more. Looks darker, right? At face value. So maybe I just need regular golden brown. Oh, that's my hand. Don't do that. Could also just steal some of this scale color for a bit, which would work, but then I don't have it with me later, and that's a problem. Add khaki to that. Oh yeah, that might work. All right. Yeah, that's definitely a more yellowy brown, which I think I like. Almost like a baby poop color. Oh, Imperial Jungle Fighters. Sure, okay. So you can see what it actually looks like. That seems pretty good. Everything's fine. We're all fine here. What are we thinking? You like that stripe? Might make it a little bit more jagged. Matches the theme. I'm always trying to remember the lesson from my iOS army, which is just go brighter. It's okay. It's okay to be less subtle on gaming minis. Just go ham. See. Why? Orcs? This ain't no orc. It's not. It's a dwarf commando. Dwarf gunner, to be specific. So my plan for the stripes is I'm using this kind of brighter baby poop color, and then in the areas where it's darker, I'm going to shade this green just with transparent brown. And I'll bring down the stripes at the same time as the green that way. So that's going to help desaturate the whole thing, kind of like doing a sepia wash. It'll also allow me to get some nice gradation across the whole thing. Off camera. Anybody watch any good movies over the weekend? A good basic color set. Well, here's the question. What do you have already? Because that will modify my answer. Obviously, as a human, I'm partial to recommending what I own. And I own the entire Pro-Grill range right now, except for I haven't bought fluorescence yet, but I will, I think. It'd be the only thing I don't really need, since I already kind of have fluorescence from several other ranges. But we'll see. Blend the hair on. Godzilla -1 a little bit ago. Nice. Just did some workshops and brought our own minis. Okay, so you haven't really committed to a paint range yet. I do like Pro-Grill's basic set a lot. It's a nice set of 20 something colors, 24 I think. Don't correct me if I'm wrong on the number there. It gives you a nice variety, but you'll definitely feel that there are a couple of gaps. The Vallejo USA starter as well is still a really good buy for the model color. If you go on to the Miniac YouTube channel, You look like best starting paint range or something like that. That video is a few years out of date in the sense that there is other stuff on the market, but that was John's first mini painting YouTube video, I think, and does have some recommendations. He kind of takes a bunch of the sets through the paces, and that Vallejo set is, I bought that. I think I bought that because of that video. It's a very, very good basic set. And I don't think it's bad at all. Heading out? See you later. You too. But yeah, the Pro Acryl set's also very good.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Thank you, Lummox Beast, for supporting us, Nerd to Nerd. It's subs like that that keep us doing these streams. Like that I've effectively given this guy jungle camo, even though we fight in the desert. Gonna make this brown match a little bit more on the gun. All right, let's see how we're doing. The stripes on the pouches are not working. They turned just into splotches. That's due to my own imprecision more than anything. So I'm going to mix in a bit more khaki. So I want to brighten these up a tiny bit on the front. Oh, see, my brush is still too wet. Do I have a paper towel in front of me somewhere? Yeah, I do. Good. It's one of the tricks that I learned that really elevated my mini painting. Don't use a dry paper towel, that's too dry. Don't use a soaked paper towel, it's too wet. Soak about half of it, then dab it up so it's just damp. You can get like the nice right amount of moisture in your brush. Particularly since I like to paint with a big brush. This is a size 3 from Monument. And I do almost all of my painting with bigger brushes. I can run into over-hydration problems. Captain McLean, I mostly agree. I don't like Pro Acryl's, or excuse me, not Pro Acryl. I don't like Army Painter's regular paint range. Their new Fanatics seem quite good. Their airbrush paints are pretty good. Their speed paints are great. All of their like basing stuff and so on, useful and great. Yeah, this is better, a little bit brighter. It's looking better. But their regular paints, I don't recommend. Even though they're very widely available, one of the most available paint ranges. I'm very excited for the Fanatic paints to hit the market here very soon, it seems like, because they seem like actually good paints. I'd like to be able to recommend Army Painter to people. And Army Painter is great about stocking and sending out giant sets. I know right now you can pre-order the Fanatic paints and it's like, you can pre-order like 50 or the whole range. 50 is a really good size starter set, I feel like. 20 always is going to leave you with some gaps. But 50 is like, honestly, plenty. But there are absolutely quite a few painters I know that like, they paint pretty well. And they were painting with Army Painter for a long time. And then they got other paint and they were like, oh my God, I didn't realize I was this good. Because they've been working against difficult to work with paints. Because that's really the difference between good paints and bad paints, is how easy it is to work with, past a certain point, right? All of the miniature hobbyist paints out there are pretty similar as far as pigment quality and so on. Some of them have more pigment than others, for sure, but the actual like qualities of the pigment, the grind and so on, pretty similar. It's not the same, but it's close enough. An army painter is more of an uphill battle, I feel like, to get to do what you want it to do. And so to a degree, it can be nice to start with if you plan on getting something else later, because you learn really best practices as far as like brush control and stuff. I'm taking this brown a little bit more yellow. I'm not quite happy with the color, and now that I've put it on more of the Mini. So I mixed in a little bit more khaki, and I'm just going over as much as I can. So yeah, I do agree though that whatever's available to you, particularly for the bread and butter colors, can be advantageous. Truthfully, GW makes great paints, but I hate the pots and I hate the prices, which is why I don't generally recommend them to newbies, but they have a lot of really phenomenal colors. And for quite a few, it's funny, their whites are like notoriously gunky, and that's true. But they also have some really great, interesting pigment colors in whites. Like GW has some of the best off-whites available. Just as far as the color, like Pallid Witch Flesh, it's an amazing. Yes, Captain McLean, I do mean their regular war paint series. Their new Fanatic paint range seems quite good. From all the coverage out there, including our own, it seems like real paints, but their regular war paints, war colors, whatever they actually call it, is not something I generally recommend. So that's okay. Yeah, pretty much swagger. The GW tax is very real, and it's like on all their stuff, which is unfortunate because a lot of their stuff is really great. That company is very profit motivated. Every company is profit motivated, but like they're able to take it to new and exciting heights. So I just went almost full khaki. I'm using that as a highlight color on these to go brighter. I know I said I was going to mostly just work downwards. I'm still thinking that that's true, but on these upper facing ones, I think I need to go a little bit higher. I don't think you can pre-order them directly. I know that some retailers are already doing pre-orders on them. We were just talking about it at the store last night. One of my local regulars is thinking about pre-ordering a set of 50. And he is someone who absolutely doesn't realize that he's being held back by Army Painter. I've tried to kind of gently coax him into like, you should try these other paints. Not like a great painter yet or anything, but he's he's been at it for, I think he said about a year. That sounds about right. He's made a lot of progress. His most recent minis have been quite good, but I can see how he's struggling against the paint sometimes. Too thin coats. I have not personally really used them. I think I've used like 2 colors from that range. I've heard very good things though. They do carry it at the store. The problem for me is I have my paint range. It's Pro Acryl. That remains true unless I get like a whole nother paint range for free or whatever. There are some gaps in the Pro Acryl range that I've filled with AK's 3rd gen. In particular, there's a lot of gaps in the kind of red and purple area, in my opinion. So like I bought, this is actually Scott's, but I've bought both of these. I do have highlight flesh. You can never have too many like off flesh colors. I really love their metallics from AK, and the metallics from Pro Acryl are great, but they only have like 8 of them. And then I have a lot of these intermediate red colors that I picked up from, oh my God, that was so close. That was so close. Ooh, all right. Like wine red and violet red and stuff. These sort of intermediate red purples. Very, very useful for mixing flesh colors. Huge fan of these. And Pro Acryl has burgundy, and they have mahogany. And that's about it in that area. They have a lot of purples, and those are useful too. But like whole red, that wine red, those are very, very useful for flesh tones. Yeah, I hear you there, Swaggerlock. I'm blessed. I have the source locally. I have scale model supply locally. Between those two, we pretty much everything on shelf. Scale model supply now carries AK 3rd gen, so I can get AK 3rd gen locally. I can get Vallejo model color, Vallejo game color, Vallejo express color. That's these. I have a few of those. I can get Pro Acryl locally. I can get Army Painter locally. I can get Reaper paints locally, but ultimately speaking, you don't even have to stick to a specific range. The one nice thing about Pro Acryl is the range is limited enough still that you can just buy the whole thing. And it's not too insane. And you have pretty much everything you need. Like I said, there's a few gaps in the sort of reds and purples areas that I feel like I need. But for the most part across the spectrum, they've got it. I'm sure that there's more paints coming. But at some point, I feel like I don't need them. AK 3rd gen's really good. I like that a lot. That's a whole range I'd be comfortable buying. If I didn't already have Pro Acryl, that's probably what I would do. Is just order the suitcase of, like, you can buy the whole range from AK, which is 250 colors or whatever. And it's like, you don't really get a discount on the paints, but you get like a carrying suitcase, which is pretty funny. So something I've been working on recently with my painting, just to go back to the actual Sherman-Williams is a nice range. You can get any color there. And this is something that really good painters talk about, but not a lot. They just kind of figure you'll suss it out over time. Brush pressure. How much you actually press your brush down and have it deflect. It's something that comes up in beginner courses, but not much after that. I find I put way too much pressure on the brush. This is the thing I have to work on. When you press down, the tip starts to spread, but more than that, the area in the middle will actually get less paint. I don't know what specific property of the brush or whatever causes that, but you'll see it. Actually, let's see if I can show you that. Sounds really annoying, Captain McLean, but also pretty funny. Let's see if I can just cause it to happen. I just had it happen. Then I went back and fixed it right away, so. And now the paint's thin enough that it doesn't matter. And that's just it, is if you go thinner, you can kind of avoid it. That's part of the advantage of working more tip on like this, is it's harder to do that. That obviously means you're covering less area. I actually want like the brush shape to be helping me make these tiger stripes, so. Yeah. That's probably the correct explanation, Citizen Perfect. But I think that sometimes understanding the why isn't actually that important. All I know is that it's something that doesn't get mentioned a lot, but like, I thought for a long time I had really bad brush control. And that is part of brush control, so maybe that's true. But actually, I just wasn't thinking about how I was using every aspect of the brush. You know, one piece of it is how accurate you are. And pressing your hands together makes a huge difference that way. But there's a whole other aspect of brush control, which is how you're actually interfacing the bristles with the model. It doesn't matter how sharp your tip is if you're not actually just using the tip. You know, this size 3 has a great tip. I could paint eyes with this if I painted eyes. But if you press down too much, the tip, let's see, I'll go on a nice khaki area so you can actually see what I'm talking about here. If I press down too much, as I press down, it bends over, it's hitting other places than where the tip is. You can see the tip is getting wider. And so, yeah, paint is forced out to the sides, but also you're losing accuracy. So going more tip on and being very careful to just barely touch makes a humongous difference. That's something that gets glossed over a lot of the time because they kind of just, it comes naturally over time, but it's the thing I'm paying attention to most these days with my miniature painting. And I feel like in the last, I don't know, couple months, my miniature painting has gotten like twice as good because of it. Because of how much more I'm paying attention to just how I'm using the tip. If you know what I'm saying. All right, let's assess. I think the camo looks good on the green. This is gonna get like wear on it, as is this. The dwarf definitely needs a cigar. I should do that now, huh? Because otherwise I'm going to paint his head and then have to add a cigar later. All right, 1 second. Oh, Scott's, it's happening. Turn around to grab green stuff, and this stuff is like, it's still pliable, but it's very, very dry. All right, I'll get out my own. That is in the upper deck, I believe. He says, I believe, because he's not sure. And he's right to be not sure because, oh wait, there it is. I got it. I did it. I remembered. I mean, that's true, Citizen Perfect, but the term that was used by my martial art instructor growing up, which I think is very, very apt here, is called thoughtful practice. Just doing something over and over doesn't make you better at it. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Because you have to know and pay attention to what you're doing wrong to improve. A lot of people fail to do that very well. So, here's what I mean. If you're throwing a jab, and you're not paying attention to what you're doing as far as like force on target and stuff like that, all you're gonna do is just extend your arm out over and over. And yeah, that'll build your muscles and it'll make you faster at doing that, but it won't make you more accurate. It won't make you put actually more force into that jab because you won't be paying attention to where you're actually connecting in your extension. You know, like, practice makes permanent is another way of putting this. And that's true to a degree. But if you really know the next step that you're aiming for, even if when you're practicing it, you're not getting there, if you're paying attention to why you're not getting there, right? You see what you're doing and you see the result that you want and the result that you're getting, and you think about the steps in between those things, then the permanence isn't there. You're not making what you're doing in that moment permanent. You're making what your thought process is to get to that point permanent. But if you are not critically thinking in that way, you will not. No, I'm not going to put a pin in it to hold it. That's insane. I'm just going to rely on it being sticky. Yeah, if you don't think about the aspects of improvement, you will not improve. And you see this all the time in music, particularly kids playing music. But if you don't think about how to actually get to the next chord faster or more cleanly or whatever, you won't do it. So it doesn't matter how many times you play the song, you'll still sound like ass. The other side of this is you don't need to physically do this stuff to get better at it. Just thinking about the actual process, a huge part of training in any sort of physical sport is conceptualizing what to do. It's a huge part of the reason that like professional sports teams and stuff review the tape. Even though you're not actually getting reps in on the field, critically talking about like the mistakes that you made. Should have put your foot here, should have moved this way, should have rolled to the right. And as you step through things, allows you to conceptualize improvement and actually improve without actually ever doing the thing. And that's true of anything, art, sports, whatever. This table of chaos is my paints, Scott's paints. I need something that I need just the tiniest amount of my green stuff. I don't really want to use a knife though. I will if I have to, it's not a big deal. I'll use the knife. Oh wait, do I have my hobby knife with me? I think I left it at home. There's gotta be a hobby knife around here somewhere. Brushes. I think hobby knives are on this side actually. Nope, that's dice. Hobby saw. It's almost a knife. Sure, I'm gonna do something sacrilegious. Not that sacrilegious, but whatever. Use clippers to just clip off the tiniest amount of green stuff. Obviously don't want the very end, because that stuff is oxidized, that's plenty. And then the blue side, like so. That should be fine. Back in the drawer. I mean, you guys have seen how I put my paint in my container. It's just a pile. So this is not that out of pocket or spec. All right. So put away my green stuff before I start working on this cigar. How do I put away green stuff? How do I do my job? I don't say that a lot when we're live, but I say that a lot before pre-stream. Drives Scott nuts. Huh? How do I do my job? What am I doing? I don't find my desk being unkempt is a barrier to hobbying because I make my desk unkempt to hobby. This is sort of, I guess, a philosophical discussion. Like, for instance, I don't really make my bed. I certainly don't like go to the trouble of like making my bed because it doesn't prevent me from sleeping. I'm going to unmake the bed the first time I climb into it anyway. Oh, I think I might have gotten too much blue. Let's see. Yeah, it's looking a little too blue to me. I don't know how much that really matters, but I'm sure it matters a little bit. Just take a little bit of this green, nothing. Man, I can't make Scott do anything, but I can definitely instigate it. And wouldn't that be a great YouTube video title? My live stream producer gave me a stroke. I'm just thinking about the content. If someone else is going to see it, Mike Genie, aren't you married? Either someone else sees it every day, or or if it gets washed every 3 to 4 days. Sure, that sounds about right. I mean, for a regular human, I definitely have gone a lot longer than that between watching. Wrecked. Do you work in the kitchen? Yeah, the key is I bring my paints with me all the time. I don't actually have a set of paints for at home. I only have my travel box. So it just gets dumped on the table chaotically when I'm painting, and then it goes away. The rest of my hobby space is a little chaotic and disorganized, but really not that bad. But yeah, this is way more green stuff than I needed, as usual. But that's okay. I'm definitely not a pro sculptor, so I may try and do this and then realize that it's not happening. Right now I have enough green stuff to give him like a whole new barrel on his gun. Where are my sculpting tools? I don't think I'll need many, but I'd like something to be able to put some texture. Nice edge. Rufus, he is going to, we're going to try and give him a cigar. Because I agree. I think he'll look great with one. Right now I have, check out that. Ganja 420 XD. I'm just basically going to rely on the stickiness of green stuff, I think. I think I'm literally going to kind of jam it in there and then try and sculpt it on his face. Because yeah, adhering it is going to be really hard. I think I'm still like twice as big as I need to be, or more. Yes, I am still like 3 times as big as I need to be. Luckily, something like this, the sculpt actually doesn't matter that much. It'll be about the painting to make it, to give it life, right? I would like to put a few creases into it, but truthfully, trying to paint it brown, give it a little bit of a spirally texture. Still, goddamn. Less, even less. I may give up on this, actually. I think that I can jam it in there, but I won't be able to get the shape I want, and adhering it is going to be basically impossible without doing that. So some other guy's probably going to get a cigar. Yeah, see, that's like almost right, but it's still, I can't maintain its flatness as I stick it to him. Or I mean, maintain its roundness, and it flattens. Kwai Chang Caine. Armed only with his spiritual training, solving problems across the American West. That's the series that they stole from Bruce Lee, right? Kung Fu. I think that no matter what, I don't think that's happening. I think that this is a exercise in folly. See how flattened it is, because just the yeah, I mean, I could do that, but you know what? I mean, right now it's a blunt, which is also pretty funny. I don't actually hate it, but I think that no matter what I do, it's just going to fall off. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. Or like a tiny brush protector. You need like a brush protector from like a Quad Zero. Le Grand cigar. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, like the real meme is to just go whole hog and give him the giant. Sculpt in some smoke. I don't think it's happening. The thing is I do have the ability to add cigars in an STL, but it's too late. He's already got a set. It's just how it's going to be. This is the Chinese censored version. The American market version. Well, a paperclip with pen vise. Honestly, just a piece of paperclip is probably the right size. But then I have to deal with the end and painting it. Once it's clipped, Nah, I'm skipping it. I've given up. Given up on life. It's all over now. A support from a 3D print. That's an interesting idea. Do I have any of the supports left from these guys? I think I threw them all out. Oh yeah, I should, a little bit of show and tell. I've been having so much fun with Blood Bowl. The store took some Blood Bowl minis on trade-in. So I got my second Blood Bowl team. Some classic Norsemen. So after my Dwarves, I'll do them. Blood Bowl has rapidly become one of my favorite games to play. I've been enjoying it immensely. And that's especially encouraging because I have yet to win a game. And I'm still enjoying it immensely, which means that the game must be really good. Because normally if I don't win, I hate the game because the game sucks. This is known. How goes it?
Go. Turn one, let that being edited, and I'm like, yeah.
He said turn one, but he meant round one. Drives me crazy. It's less random than I expected initially. Like, obviously, yes, it is quite random, but with the abilities that give you rerolls and playing to your team's strengths, yeah, it can be you roll 3 ones in back-to-back possessions and the game just falls apart, but that's okay. And I'm playing Dwarves, which means that I'm all reliable. I got block on all my guys. I do nothing except for punch people. It's great. Sure, but there are games of everything that you can lose to the dice. I don't actually necessarily see that as a problem. I think I want to... maybe I want to make those khaki. They won't stand out against his skin, then I'll make these green. He's got wraps on his arms in a couple places. Maybe, you know what, maybe instead of doing green, maybe that's a splash color that I put on all my guys. Oh. It's an interesting perspective, Rufus. The longer the game, the more you care about randomness. I can appreciate that. Oh, he's wearing a fingerless glove on that hand, too. That's fun. That's fun. There's some stripes down in there that I think look like ass. I just made them blobs, they're too wide, but it's also an area that like no one will ever see, so it doesn't really matter that much, but you know what, chat? It matters to me. Dial them back with a little bit of khaki. Khaki. Unload. Really liking the idea. Battletech learned to play at Friday night at Adepticon. That's an interesting idea. What if you want a rule set as needlessly complex as possible? You want the old world, but you control all of that on one guy. That's right. I'm talking talking about BattleTech. The way that I know that BattleTech is actually the best war game is pretty simple. It's been alive. It's not a dead game. And they've like never changed the rules, basically. They've introduced new stuff, but fundamentally the additions are like pretty much the same game. Maybe some small tweaks here and there. I don't know, maybe someone that actually plays the game is like, those changes were huge. It's completely different, but I don't believe it. They want to play it now more than ever. All right, I like where we're at. We're moving right along. I take Mike Genie's approach and paint the armor color. You know, like I could do khaki and tiger stripe on it. I also have to think about the links. I think I'm gonna paint the arm green. Match the class color. On the other hand, the cybernetics could also match across all the guys, which might be a good idea. This is a temporary one, just so I could hold on to him. He's very lightly glued to it. He's gonna be on some sort of cool official base. This is also too big. This is a 30. It goes on a 28 and a half. You think about this. This guy's a scout. He's getting like a blue cape. He's got double robot arms. Does he have double blue arms? Oh, I have an idea. Okay. Where is... I got it out. Blue, black. Payne's gray. Let's do Payne's gray. These are for the Necromunda game, Rufus. Mike Genie posted the link earlier. These are the most badass dwarves in the galaxy by a creator called Drop Minis on my mini factory. They're excellent. Highly recommended. So the way I'm going to do it is these armor panels are going to be the class color. The actual parts I'm going to do is just like a blue steel. We'll do so I'm going to base coat all of these inside pieces. Payne's gray. And then this blue color I'm doing, along with the metallics that I use for it, will go on all of them, because it's like a dark desaturated color, and that'll help tie them together. All their cybernetics coming from the same source or whatever. Theming, etc. But also, we'll let the arms blend into their class. Yeah, these would be awesome for Shadowrun. My only criticism of these minis is they didn't have a proxy for the big robot that they can take in Necromunda, so I had to find a different one for that. I did. This is my replacement for the big robot. It's especially appropriate because the big robot has like a rapid fire flamer. He uses a different rule called Firestorm that's exclusive to them. So this is my big robot guy. Yeah. 3 flamers and a cannon in the hand. Hell yeah. The only thing I don't like is that it has like a little nod to dreadnoughts right here, and I don't really want that. I thought about swapping it, but then I got lazy and I don't really care. Swaggle Rock Necromunda is very oriented around campaign play. That's where it really shines. In the same way that I think Blood Bowl does, and it's Mordheim, but for 40k. It's extra weird, which I like a lot. It still has that kind of dorkiness that 40k is kind of likes to pretend that our game was never dorky and satiristic, but Necromunda still has that vibe. So that's cool. I like that a lot. It is skirmish based. You run a gang. But it's definitely like campaign based. So I'm thinking that the armbands will also be a team color. I'm going to figure out what that is when I paint my leader. The team color is probably going to be like, he's got a red right hand, but I also don't want to give him a red armband because that would be, that might be problematic. So we'll figure that out. But the leader is definitely going to have a red right hand and have his own color scheme. And something about his color scheme will show up on all the guys. Maybe it's teal. Maybe they wear a teal armband. Yeah, exactly, Swaggle Rock. It still has that cheese. The fun is still there. You're playing primarily like chaos cultists and just gangs of weirdos. Or people that are really sick and tired of the weirdos. Canonically, it all takes place on one super hive world called Necromunda. That's like that is the planet that it's all happening on. And so it's like, it's a weirdly big tent setting where there's just everything on this planet. It's really fun. I like it a lot. Played our first game on, oh, scheisse. That's all right, we're good, I got it off the areas that really matters. First game on Sunday was a good time. I didn't win, but I did pretty well. We weren't really using our gangs, we were just doing an intro scenario where we all played like rando chaos cultists. I noticed that Dan existed, so I shot him. It should be pretty easy. Honestly, the bar to entry Necromunda is relatively low for a GW gang, or GW game. Most of the gangs, you only need to really buy their starter box to get started. And it's like $50, $40 or $50, depending on which one. The rules are not officially available free online, but they are available for free online. I think that this is actually just going to be green. Right, do I want to do green along this, or do I want to do khaki? It's going into the gun, and that's khaki, and it's green here. This is bullshit, you can't tell on me for saying stuff. I think Cornflake Justice, you missed out on your favorite song. There's a really big, ugly stripe on the back of this thing, too. Thin that down a bit. Yeah, I know. You mentioned that. I think that last stream was going to be your last one that you were here earlier for. Cornflake Justice. What color should the ammo belt be? Should it be steel of some sort, which is probably just like blue and then dry brushed metallics? Should it match the gun, khaki? Or should it be green like the backpack? Painting dwarf. While I wait a response, I'll start working on the arm. Bronze. Not doing bronze. But if you say steel, I'm fine with that. We'll do the blue and the colors. I think that's probably a good idea, since that's my cross core metallic-y color. It's really hard to see in there. That's true. I am only wearing a flannel shirt and an apron. I actually don't believe in wearing pants. It's canonical. Grab a bunch of this Payne's Gray. Just go over this whole thing and see how it looks. This is somewhere where brush pressure just doesn't matter that much because we're just slapping paint on for the beginning. Let's try to do this on camera. Pantaloons are overrated. That's true. I might be a pirate. I don't know. One of the things I remember from YouTube most clearly is those videos of Mass Effect Remastered. I think that's literally what it was called. It might have been something else. I can't remember the name of the channel. Gamer Poop or something like that. Ancient Memes. It's that series where Commander Shepard just says, well, bang, okay? Like to everybody. Hilarious! When you're, 22 or whatever. What color will this metal cat be? Oh, that's going to be chrome. Maybe NMM chrome. It may be like chrome from a Maltao thing. But the joke is that he's going to be a chrome note. For sure. Yeah, ancient meme, Swaggle Rock. But it's there. It's in your brain. Well, bang, okay? There was so much crap in those. That's like, this is dumb. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my rectum. God. Anyway, for whatever reason, the thing that came to mind was someone said he might be a pirate. And one of the lines in there is someone saying that Commander Shepard is a butt pirate. You're a butt pirate. Yep, that's in my brain. I definitely just got blue on the bottom side of his arm. That's fine, it's the bottom side of his arm, no one cares. No one in chat cares, even if they say they care. The part where I'm really hard on my brush. Sorry, brush. I need some of that chrome ink. Yeah, I do. I think I only have a gold pen, which is in here, which is the gold chrome, but whatever. Okay, so that's the base coat there. And then I'm gonna just like dry brush on metallics and stuff and wash it, and it'll look great, I'm sure. Scott used on the face mask. Oh, yeah. Fact. I want to do that right now just to see how it looks, but I have to figure out where that is. I guess I could just go yell at him, which is always fun. Might be sitting around somewhere right next to me. That would be so embarrassing. Stuff that he's probably cleaned up since then. Probably. Yeah, on the table of chaos. If I was Scott and I had an insane metallic stuff, I would put it right there. I see it. Huh. Oh, my spine. Golly gumdrops. I need a hard palette too. I don't think that this should go in the wet palette. I guess I could use that cup that he put his mini in. Or I could use this movement tray that's all gummed up. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah, oh good, pants. Yeah, you thought I might be serious. Hard palette, movement tray. I'll just use the bottom side. Shh, don't tell Scott. Rufus, that camera hasn't been hooked up or had a lens on it in like 6 months. It's there. Whoa. It's like mercury. So shiny. I don't know if I'm supposed to use throwaway brushes with this stuff. I don't think I am. Marco uses this small towel one for all stuff all the time. We'll see. I ruin a monument brush, it's not that big a deal. Oh, it smells fun too. Am I dying right now? I'm stealing this stuff. This is awesome. I definitely still see it in the brush. I think we're good. Alcohol. Water seems to do fine. I just had to give it a couple extra swipes. There's a few strands that probably were isolated and so it dried on them. So what I will do is just scrape the brush and I bet it'll knock those off. Still smells really fun. Yeah, use a chrome dome. That's really fun. Before I move on to any of the metallic steps, I want to finish base coating stuff. So he's going to get base coated flesh. We're going to do this handle. Handle's going to be that same blue steel technique, I think. So we'll do that. Paint's great to start. We are going to go a little long today because I started late because I was trying to get Stream Deck to work. I had to re-add my phone as a Stream Deck controller, and then it stopped working, and I realized it was because my VPN turned back on in the middle of the process, and you have to be on the same network or it doesn't work. Very cool. Split tip. Do I plan to varnish the Mini at all? No. I actually basically never varnish. I only use varnishes for effects or in intermediate painting steps when I need to protect something. Like I've varnished before doing streak and grime, for instance, stuff like that, when I don't want it to stain as much because it will stain matte paints more than it will gloss and so on. I've done gloss varnish steps before that, but no, in general, I don't varnish my minis, and I don't think it's actually that important. Hot takes. do the basic highlights on the arm. Yeah, it would be pretty fun. The problem with effects like this is it also feels like a shortcut. At least to me. There's not a lot of improvement to be made using stuff like that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it looks really cool and great, so that's not necessarily a problem. I just try and do that stuff sparingly so I don't become over-reliant on it. That's true. I mean, the thing is I could have done the painstaking NMM task of, you know, like painting a horizon line on it and stuff and giving it that 80s vibe. And honestly, I'd like that, but yeah, this is actually pretty sweet. And eye-catching, and it brings the eyes up to the head. Which, you know, all our pro mini painting friends always are talking about, right? It's both one of those things that I think is true and actually completely untrue, Cornflake Justice. I have definitely seen NMM that's convincing from more than just one angle. It's out there. It does happen. Sometimes from like every angle, and it's amazing. But it takes real work and a specific technique's not the right way of putting it. It takes a very specific look of NMM to pull that off. Generally something that's a little more dull and a little bit more omnipresent rather than monodirectional. Does that make sense? I think for gaming minis I do too most of the time, but I think NMM can look amazing. And I enjoy doing pseudo NMM type colors as well. Bringing out some of my flesh tones to do his arm and face real quick. Wine right out. Or did I put it back? I think I put it back. I did. Oop. And violet red. guess I'll use, oops, basically the same techniques I've been using on my Blood Bowl team because they're dwarves too. Broke, don't fix it. My palate is getting kind of dry for my tastes, but that's okay. Just start with a dark brown and all the shadow grays. Oh wait, that's right. He's wearing a glove on his hand. Didn't do that. Urban legend, urban legend. Prank caller, prank caller. I also have leather straps across him to worry about, which I should do before long here. I'm just not going to worry about getting it on his armband because I don't know what color that's going to be. And that's definitely getting repainted. So I'm going to put it on nice and thin up top. His face. Take a look. Just put in some of this violet into some under eyes. Too thin. Too thin! His cheeks and stuff before I do the browns. A bit from the tip of his nose. Probably have a black beard, because that's the canonical gunner. I won't worry about that because the beard and eyebrow are definitely after we do the flesh. Yeah, I can understand that, Conflict Justice, that it's sort of, you appreciate that they were able to do the thing. Right? I totally empathize with that. Might be too opaque, but we'll find out in a second. Probably is. In fact, it definitely is. Oh! It's interesting how painting in different places can really affect how paint feels because of the different humidity levels and so on. Aced the collar. Whoops, that's all right. It's really easy to fix. In fact, it's going to happen a few more times here, I'm sure. So, is what it is. What a taint it is. Try not to ace the chrome. That's the only thing I'm really worried about. It's not a big deal to redo it, but it is kind of a whole different step kind of thing. I did, Captain McLean. I even got the special, stupidly expensive $500 pack. The Ajax edition. I just happened to be up when it started. And I have done the big backer thing before. It probably wasn't worth it, but that's okay. I'm such a tremendous fan of everything that company does. We won't wet blend. That's good. Works for me. His fingers down there. You did not, Cornflake Justice. I didn't do the giveaway today, just because I can't really manage a giveaway while I'm also being on stream. So, because this was not like a truly last minute thing, but I didn't have a lot of time to plan and prepare. So, we're at 30 something. Next paint stream with Scott, we'll pick up where we left off, which should be next week, day after Christmas, actually. I'm assuming we're doing a stream next week, but I'm not positive. Hey, Scott. We doing a stream next week? Day after Christmas? Scott says we're not. You sure? I mean, we can make that work. Scott will not be available. Cornflake Justice says he has the day off, though. Scott says the answer is still no. What a shame. I'll tell you what, I'll stream on my channel the day after Christmas. Good. Just beat God of War 2018. Had a great time doing it, mostly. I may play that game a little bit more. I kind of want to do all the Valkyries. I mean, I did make Genie. I played for like 6 hours on Sunday. The Super Gamer Boys, my channel is MCXL. don't know that works. No, I don't think so. It's all right. Yeah, easy enough to find. Normally I'd be typing in chat and you could just follow me that way. Mostly I stream games, but I have in the past occasionally streamed painting. I don't really have a perfect setup for it, but I do have multiple cameras and a bunch of lights and stuff, so I can do it. Problem is the computer that I stream from for painting is actually basically the same as those tablets we use on the gaming set, so it's not equipped for it. But I have an idea on how to upgrade that setup. I think that if I use that computer to send the video signals via NDI to my real gaming computer, that one can do the encoding and streaming. And that would massively reduce the overhead. And that probably will work, but that's, quite a few hours of work. There you go. That link that Mike Cheney posted, that's me. How am I feeling about these flesh tones? His arm is brighter than his face, which is an immediate problem. I'm just gonna glaze down his, oh man, my wet palette is getting to dry. I'm gonna glaze down his arm a bit. Much better. Cares about the internet. Just trying to get some paint. I may end up using the flesh wash on this a little bit, because that'll push a little bit more red into it, and that's always nice. It's also this side of his head. I'm just like, oh, that's very stressful to get to. I actually want a smaller brush for that. What a rarity. Let's do that now. Size 1 should be fine. If this were Dota 2, I'd be dead. I haven't played Dota in such a long time. That'd be a fun stream. Me and Scott played Dota. He would get really mad at me. It would be great. What are you doing? Where are my ganks? Ah! Why are you still last hitting creeps? You're Lena. You're playing a support. You're not supposed to be taking them. Yeah, but I want to buy items. I'm getting an assist. Stop feeding. Ah! That would be a pretty fun stream. Get out of the jungle! Yeah, exactly. What are you doing? So I have to shout out one thing here, paint-wise. I say that paints don't matter that much, and most of the ranges are equal, and yada, yada, yada. There's one set of paints that I swear by for Caucasian flesh tones. It's Vallejo, but it's a very specific triad of Vallejo colors I use all the time. And those colors, from the Panzer Aces range. 342, 343, and 344, I believe, is the middle one, which is not in front of me. And it's literally called Highlight Flesh, Shadow Flesh, and I think they call it Basic Flesh. for the middle one. Where's that at? I'll show this off. This is definitely one of those hacks. Oh, there's my dark ivory. God damn it. Just looking for earlier. What the hell? I must have gotten it out and I don't see it in front of me and it's just lurking. They're from the Panzer Aces range, so they're annoying to get your hands on. And I'm sure that they have equivalents in other ranges. However, I'm just looking to see if it maybe fell into the bottom. They are, bar none, my favorite flesh tones. My favorite flesh triad and so on for painting anything that's Caucasian or even Caucasian adjacent. The dark flesh is just the right amount of saturation to use for a bunch of other stuff. I don't see the middle one. Well, I have it. I just don't know where it is. These are great. These are so great. And so on my palette, I have them, and I have a few of the other parochial colors. Along with, I like the AK highlight flesh color, basic skin highlight or whatever, because it's a little bit more pink. It gives you some options and spaces to move to. But I'm a huge fan of these Vallejo colors. I bought them and my painting got better. Because as we all know, skin tones are like one of those things that's like, it's not that they aren't easy to mix, they are, but it's also one of those spaces that like, we can be the most picky about because we're most familiar with it. For sure. His head is like too desaturated, which is annoying, but we'll get there. I'm actually gonna just pump in a tiny bit of pinky purple into this. There's also the spot on his nose that like the primer is like chipped, which I can still see. Which is turning into like a mole or something. On this scar. Back up. Long period of silence while I think about what I've done. Big bird energy, huh? I haven't really touched my Stormcast list since then. Yeah, I'll have to take a look at it. I bet I can bring more stuff because things keep getting cheaper. Allegedly, a friend of mine may have the cool guy on Dragon. And he allegedly said he'd give it to me. However, that was months ago, so I don't know if that's actually happening or not. Creepy hype man? Going back and forth on his flesh tone because I think it's not saturated enough. So I'm resaturating over and over. Resaturating, desaturating. Oh yeah, that guy. Creepy hype man, I like that. Oh, my brushes. Ooh, focus. Starting to fray. Getting too dry. The brush comes apart. This is part of the reason that I prefer working with the bigger brush. I'm still working with the size 1 here. The longer working time also means that your brush holds its tip longer because it stays moist longer. Yeah. Well, so my thinking is I do want them to have a more saturated skin tone because these guys live and work out in the desert, constantly fighting nomads. So it's like, yeah, they live in caves, but they also are on like the inhospitable side of the world, so to speak. So I don't want them to be too not tan. He's not quite as orange as he appears on screen to me, but he's still a little too saturated right now. I'm trying to make sure I maintain that without losing the tanness, so to speak. Particularly on this guy, the gunner, I feel like is going to spend more time outdoors shooting at damn nomads. So I've worked it back a couple times because I got it too desaturated and I was like, oh, that's not right. I think I'm getting there now. Before the chrome. I will say that this pose is kind of annoying to paint. because of how close his arm gets to his body. But that's okay. Part of painting miniatures is dealing with annoying shapes. It's coming up. I'm gonna do something I don't normally do. Paint the eye.
I kick ass for the Lord.
Onion broski. 12 months and 5 month streak. Both pretty solid. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. I just got that magic touch. If you know what I'm saying. Thank you for the sub again, Onion Broski. Don't edge your Procro. Yeah. Yeah. I can't tell if he's supposed to have a mustache or not. I don't think he is because of how formed the eyebrows are on this. Let's get him the scope. There's definitely a lack of paint down there. But that's my own fault because I thought I was avoiding a mustache. So we'll fix that real quick. Good evening, Army MP 428. I hope you are doing well. Don't tell Scott, but we're just gonna keep going until he says something. 'Cause I don't have money. Unless he's watching right now, in which case I can say, Scott. Scott's mustache is finally starting to come in. The trick is, Goobs, he just grows his beard for like a while, like a month, and then he shaves it off, and he's like, "Wow, look at this mustache." Or are you saying that my mustache is Scott's mustache? That would be a different kind of joke. I don't know. Brent, are you going to be at Adepticon this year? We're going to bump into each other? Have awkward conversations? You know, as one does at a convention? Hell yeah. Now we're talking. That's so awesome. At least for me, as someone who's only like tangential to all this, pretty happy with how he's looking. I believe Rufus is planning on going. The thing that I forget is that even though the YouTube channels and the streams and stuff are very small, it is also a very small potential pool, right? And it's always fun to go to the convention with Scott and stuff and just see how he gets like mobbed. And I know it's probably the same for you too, Goops, and for Vince and all that stuff, where it's just like, oh my God, not a celebrity in the real world, but in the miniature world, hell yeah. Oh, don't like that. That's fish. There's like a bit of dark in there that I don't like though, that I'm trying to fix. Yeah. Alright. This is where we're at. There's obviously a lot of shading that's going to happen to the gun. But I think that that's going to basically happen after I start doing the metallic edging and stuff. Same thing for the camo. Also have to do the straps. Ugh. This eye. I think is going to be bright jade. Happen again. These MDF bases don't really stay in the holder. Yeah, it's got a lot of straps. Yeah, I didn't do the side of his armor at all because I haven't figured out what the hell I'm doing there. I guess I'm probably doing a bit of khaki in here and then belt, and a bit of khaki. I don't know if like, yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what we're gonna go for. I've got the khaki on my palette, so let's do that right now and then hit these belts. I kind of want to just get him completely base coated. Don't care about getting paint on the belts. Oh yeah, and I have to go back and fix the collar too. Yeah, the socket on that side as well, yeah. Yep. You are correct. I don't care about getting it on the belt at all. In fact, it's probably better than the gray that it's going to be. The thing I always do with leather belt is contrast paint. Just love snakebite leather. It's like my favorite color. Such a great yellow brown, and it really helps shortcut belt life. second. Yes. Scott says we're done, chat. I would paint all day and all night. I think Scott wants to make a thumbnail and go home. Because it is, in fact, like the end of the workday. Freehand diamond plate pattern. No, that one's going to be, it's going to be the same as the belt. So here's the plan. I'll explain that and then we'll be done. His arm, the gun, we're going to do the traditional kind of dry brush metallic and weathering chipping stuff. Along with, I'm going to do it manually to the collar here, and I'll probably mask off his head while I do that just in case. Because I want him to look tired and decrepit, right? So that's going to happen on all these things, including the handle. So the handle's going to get weathered and chipped and stuff, and it'll look metallic. I still need to base coat his beard and eyebrow, glove, leather handle, all the leather straps all over him, and he has a lot of straps. He's one of the more straptacular models, but that's okay. He's trying to hold his ammo backpack together, I guess. The boots are probably just going to get painted the same leather. Excuse me. So, that's it. I can't set up a raid from where I'm at, so we ain't raiding no one today. Thanks for hanging out. We are live this Thursday, presumably. I don't know what we're playing. I think we're playing Shatterpoint. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's Shatterpoint this Thursday. You'll just have to come and check it out to see. No painting stream next week. However, I may go live on my channel, so follow me at MCXL, and we'll see what happens. I might poke around the server and tell people. It'll be a good time. Anyway, that's what we've got for today. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Thanks for the subs, and have a great Christmas. If you don't tune in on the Thursday stream, I mean, shame on you, but that's okay. And I will see you after Christmas. Have a good one, everybody.